All right, welcome back to the final SKOL'ing with the Enemy of the 2020 season. We are joined with DoseOfDion 2.0, second time around this year. All his links, as always, will be down in the description. Check him out. Maybe, I'm just going to throw this out there, he might be the most entertaining one we've had so far this year, so no pressure, Dion. Welcome back to the show. And also, this is our first threesome when it comes to SKOL'ing with the Enemy. So welcome aboard. Be prepared to be a little double teamed here.
I'm ready for it, man. Thanks for having me. Excited to be back. Let's get it.
All right, let's get right into it. You know, kind of a little bit of the battle of the turds here. The last week of the season, nothing on the line. Lupagus and I, at least at the Vikings perspective, are hoping we see some guys we haven't seen much of this year, that they just kind of throw some guys in there. Any Lions out there that may have been buried on the depth chart that you're hoping to see on Sunday?
Yep. I'm going with, I got my safety, man. I'm hoping we see our safety. He was an undrafted free agent, Bobby Price. He's gotten a little bit of time on special teams, but we haven't really seen him on defense. The Lions, you know, they're just firing and releasing people at this point, just for whatever reason. So we released one of our starting safeties. I guess he was late for bed check or something. So that opens up a spot for Bobby Price. So I'm hoping I get to see him. He's a big dude. Yeah, like 6'4". All the intangibles that you want, but I hope we get to see him.
Are you referring to Mr. Curse as far as the safety release?
Yes, I am.
Oh, we'll talk about him. We'll talk about him, baby.
All right, Dion, I'm the Lupagus. Nice to meet you. I would love to sit bare butt cheeks on that brown couch of yours and maybe let you read my thoughts, hear my deepest concerns. Is it a therapeutic couch or what is that?
You know, it can be used for that, but you know, it's just kind of where I chill out. You know, I got a TV over here, so that's where I watch the games.
It looks comfy. It's
very comfy, yeah.
All right. Well, with the tragic news of Dalvin Cook's passing of his father today, so Cook will not be playing against the Lions this Sunday. Last time out, he had 200+ yards in the first game. He pretty much got the W for the Vikings. Let's not kid ourselves here. With no Cook in the lineup this Sunday, what is your confidence level for the Lions?
Well, man, my Cook or no Cook, man, my confidence level is low right now. I mean, last week I came in kind of just hoping, you know, we don't have any head coaches. We might compete a little bit, make some plays. When it's like, what was it, 40-0, we just get the third quarter started. You really just, there's no more hope anymore. So, I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I was looking at trying to see how far he was away from that rushing record. If he could have, you know, played. I know it's crazy to think that maybe he could have done it, but this was the team. If he was going to do it, he probably had a chance to do it against.
Mm-hmm. Unless he played the Vikings, then he would have a chance too. But
there you go.
Yeah, with I mean, really the only thing this game affects is each team's draft stock or draft pick. Right now, Lions are at 7, I believe. 7. Vikings are at 13. I mean, deep down, are you one of those guys that at this point you don't want to win? I mean, what are you thinking going in this game? Do you like that 7th pick?
Oh man, I've seen a lot of losing. So for me, I always just root for the win. I'm always hoping they win. But it's kind of like I'm not really expecting them to win after what I saw last week. So I'm hoping for them to win. But if they don't win, then you know it's kind of a win-win situation, right? If they don't, we get a higher pick. If they do, I'm happy. So I always root for them to win. Like if we were a team that I saw constantly in the playoffs, things like that, and it's like, oh, we had a bad year. Okay. But when you see your team struggle a lot, you take any win, you know, you take any win you can get. So I'll root for them to win. But if we get a higher draft pick, I wouldn't be mad at it.
Absolutely. What's the highest they can get? Do you know?
I've heard the third pick in the draft. So
wow.
A lot of things got to go right, but back-to-back third picks, who knows?
Nice.
Well, one thing that could help you get that third pick is Matt Stafford being out. He's got ankle, ribs, thumb injury. What's the percent chance you see old number 9 out there for the Lions?
Man, I'd probably right now probably 85%. I really just think, yeah, I'm really always confident he's going to play. We saw versus the Titans, he didn't practice at all during the week, and he's still out there and played. And he said this week he's planning to play again, even if he doesn't practice. I mean, I don't know. I just expect him to play, and hopefully it's not, but it could be his last game in Detroit. You know, we don't really know what's going on there. So I think he'll probably try to play. Will he finish the game? That's a different question, but I think he'll probably be out there.
All right. What a segue, because our next question is Stafford in Detroit in 2021. What are you thinking? Is there any chance that he is Gonzo from Detroit?
Man, I hope not. I hope not. But I do think there is that chance. I try not to think about it. I try to kind of push it off, act like it's not a thing. But I think there is a chance. My whole thought has been if he wants to leave, then he'll leave. I don't think, this is one of those decisions where it's head coach, they say GM, head coach make the decision. I think it's going to come down to what he wants to do. I think if he wants to stay here, whoever's coming in next will probably keep him. But I think it's whether or not he just wants to go through rebuild. Personally, I think whoever they hire is going to have a big influence on that, depending on who we hire. If we go a route with someone that doesn't really know what they're doing, maybe doesn't have the experience, he may be more willing to leave, knowing that this could be another situation of rebuilding again. And honestly, if you want to leave, I wouldn't be mad at him. I'd understand it. It's just a big mess right here, right now. And to expect it to turn around anytime soon is kind of crazy. So I hope not, but I do think there is a chance.
Man, I hope he sticks around. I love playing Stafford. I love everything about Stafford. He looks like a guy that you can just go out and play bigs and drink about 48 beers with and just have a blast.
Right. Yep. He's got the beer video, man.
Hell yeah.
He does. If he did go somewhere else, would you be rooting for him? I mean, would you be happy if he did find some success, got to the playoffs, went deep?
Oh yeah, of course. I would get a Stafford jersey wherever he goes, as long as it's not Minnesota. No,
that's not polite. That is very rude.
No, but yeah, no, I get a jersey. I'd probably rock it up here. Unless they're playing us, I'd probably root for him to go have some success because he's done so much here, and it just stinks that you can't find anything to put around him. It's like, man, you almost feel like you did waste him, right? And it stinks. So yeah, I would definitely root for him. I'd cheer for him, and I'd hope that he would go win a playoff game because he leaves here. That's the one thing that he needs to get.
Yeah, let's kind of stick on that Stafford line here. Lions get a top 10 pick, say. Possibility they actually pull a trigger on their quarterback of the future.
Man, I think it's rising. I really do, and I think it depends on who you hire. I think if we go a college route, I could definitely see them jump on a quarterback. But regardless if Stafford's here or not, I definitely think there's a chance. I think the higher pick they get, the better chance the Lions are going to probably try to take a quarterback. Just because I don't really, there's a lot of things they could use right now. There's a lot of things they could get. And I honestly think last year they may have taken a quarterback if that mandate wasn't there that they had to be a playoff team. So I think there's a pretty good chance just with, you really got 4 or 5 quarterbacks in the top 10 that could go. If we're in the top 10, I think there's a good chance they'll take one.
You've mentioned a few times the Lions are a little bit of a mess. Don't know what the future holds, but there has to be some hope. There has to be some player this year, some young guy that you're a little excited about. Who's that guy that gives a little bit of hope for the future?
Ooh, I guess I go with Swift. Because our running game's been really bad for a long time. I actually got a Swift shirt a couple of days ago, so I was excited about that. So I'll go with Swift. I think he's been our best running back. I mean, look, I didn't get to see Barry, but that I've ever seen, he's probably the best running back out there if he's healthy. It's kind of crazy, but Lions, we haven't been able to run the ball, but you see him, he makes it look so much different out there. The difference between him getting the ball and Kerryon Johnson getting it, the offensive line looks different. We know how well he catches it. He just makes a lot of guys miss. I think DeAndre Swift's the reason for hope because I think the one thing, well, we've been lacking a lot of things, but since we've been lacking the running game for so long, I think you pair him up with a nice little partner there. I think that'll be exciting for next quarterback if Stafford's here, whoever's here.
Yeah, he does. He does look damn good.
Yeah, and he'll have a big game against the Vikings run defense.
Yes,
no doubt on Sunday.
You will go out on a high note. That's pretty much a guarantee.
All right, so you've seen a handful of former Vikings this season, up close, personal. I want to get your thoughts on them after seeing them for a full season portion of the season, whatever it was. First on the list is the former Lion, former Minnesota Viking, currently unemployed, J-Ron Curse.
Man, I liked J-Ron when he was here. I liked what he could bring. Our safeties were not very good this year. So for him, he was one of our better ones. I just liked how he could cover the tight ends. You could pretty much put him anywhere. You could use him as almost like a linebacker, and it didn't take him long. He missed the time for suspension, but once he got going, he stepped right in. So I liked him, and it was a cheap contract. I was thinking maybe you resign him. You could bring this guy back, but then when you go out and you release him like we did, I mean, at this point, no one's safe. I mean, when you don't know where you're going, it's just people are just getting fired. We just fired a special teams coordinator as well, and special teams was doing pretty well with him. But I did like J-Ron for what he brought. It stinks that he got cut though.
Yeah, there's got to be some kind of attitude issues there. He left here on a sour note, so I wonder if he rubbed some people the wrong way in the Lions front office. All right, Adrian Peterson,
Ooh. Man, I like Pearson too, but I feel like they should have probably. I would have liked to see them take his role a little bit away as the season went on a little bit. He stepped in, he was great. I was not expecting him to do that. He just came out really hot for us, and he just became our number one. I was not ready for all that. But I think then as the season got on, he had his moments, but he wasn't doing that much consistently for us. I would have liked to see more carry on, because now we're in the spot where like this was kind of the prove it year for him. We saw 2 years, 1 year good, 1 year bad, but both years injuries. This year he's healthy, but we didn't really get to see him get the ball. So I would have liked to see a little bit more of him. That way I can know what direction they're going with carry on for his final year. But Adrian Pearson near the goal line, man, that dude, that dude was just unstoppable. You just knew if he was getting the ball near goal line, he was getting in the end zone. Everything else, you don't know. He's a little slow, but he was getting in the end zone. Just give it to him 4 times. We'll find a way to get in. He'll find a way.
He runs mean. He runs angry.
Man.
He doesn't age. He doesn't age either. All right. Last one. John Pinacini's line mate, defensive end, Everson Griffin.
I like Everson too. Man, we got some guys I like over. No, I really like Everson. I hope we re-sign this guy.
Easy. He's got to come back to Minnesota, man.
Man, I really hope we bring this guy back, dude. But this guy stepped in, and we never got to see him play with Flowers this year because of Flowers' injuries. But he took over. I mean, Romeo is a really good passer. He's doing really well. But to me, like, he just looked like the best pass rusher to me just from what I saw with my eyes. Statistically, Romeo's our best. He was really good. But with all the questions going on, if you could lock up Griffin with, you got your Romeo, you still got Trey Flowers, you get some pass rushers. We've lacked some pass rush. I've really liked it. The energy he brings is great. The guy is sometimes maybe he like kind of goes a little crazy with things that he says will happen, like the first time we played you guys. But you gotta love it though. I mean, I love the energy.
How many sacks has he gotten for Detroit?
Who I don't know exactly. Maybe like 2, maybe like 3.
I think he's got at least 3. I think it's at least 3.
He'd be leading the Vikings right now.
Yeah, he would be. It's very sad, very depressing.
Love
seeing him ripping it up though. He's an easy guy to root for. Easy guy to root for. You mentioned quarterback as far as a target possibly in the draft. What else is going to be up there? What's going to be high on the list as far as draft picks?
Definitely thinking linebacker. I'm thinking linebacker will be up there. The only guy I don't even know if Jamie Collins is safe, but that's the one guy that I know I could bring this guy back. He's still got the contract. He's played pretty well, but you got Tavai, you got Davis, you got Ragland, Christian Jones, all these guys. I don't know if they're going to be here. So I've definitely say linebacker, especially if they go the route and hire a defensive-minded coach. They go get Robert Salovich. A lot of people think they will. We have Chris Spielman out working, with the Lions to make their next hire. All the linebacker ties, I think linebacker will be high, and I'm hoping it doesn't need to be super high, but I'm hoping we target a running back. Either that or free agency, but I really want to put someone with Swift. I don't want, trying to give him 20 plus carries and him getting hurt. And it's like, okay, now we're back to what we had this season. So I'm just hoping they pair someone with him.
All right. All right. So the Lions, it's, again, a team in flux right now, but in your estimation, how far away are the Detroit Lions from being contenders in the NFC? Actually, the NFC North. Let's take it one baby step at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get ahead of yourself, Lupagus.
So you mean contenders as to winning the North?
Yeah.
Oh man,
that's what it means.
Well, we've never.
I know it's been a long
used
time.
To that in Detroit. We never do that, so we don't know. Second place, that's contended for us. No, but man, it's hard to gauge, man. I don't know. I think you're going to be a little bit further if you move Stafford. If Stafford moves for immediately. But right now, I think they're as far as finding a good head coach. I think if they can find a good head coach, things will get much better. Things will look better. I think your defense will improve. It won't be great. There's still talent you need to add. There's new pieces you need to bring in. But I just think they need to find a head coach that, is really just a leader of the team. I just don't think they've had that. They just got like too many moving pieces. They don't have any consistency up there. So I think if they can land a head coach this offseason, and even if he's doing mostly the GM job as well, or he goes and hires a GM, I think if they can land a head coach, they'll be a lot closer. And I think also if you get someone that has maybe that resume to back him up, then I think, Stafford may be more intrigued to stay. So I think that's where they're at. I think there's once they find the right head coach, which is not easy to do, I think that's where they're at right now. But if they go and hire another guy that I personally, I think if they go hire another guy that doesn't really know what they're doing right away, I think we could be far away.
All right. Once again, we are joined with DoseOfDion 2.0. We are picking his brain, Detroit Lions wise. Lions, when you look at their IR, you know, it's pretty ugly. They've had some pretty big boys get chucked on that thing this year. Let's go in fantasy land and say that you were not hit by the injury bug. How much better would this team have been?
Ooh, man, okay. So I guess IR, I would say, hit pretty heavy even after Patricia was gone. But I think it what really I think hurt us bad was the front seven. You know, we had the cornerbacks, you had Okuda and Trufant, that didn't help. But I think the defense just got really smoked by the injuries this year. It's even after Patricia was gone. And when we beat the Bears, we were 5-7. It's just we couldn't get anybody healthy. I mean, you had no defensive linemen. You weren't going to stop the run. We couldn't get any pressure. Then we were missing our cornerbacks to the back end. How good could we have been? This team wasn't great when they were completely healthy this year, but I think they would have been more competitive. I mean, I don't think we would have seen a 40-point loss to Tampa Bay. I don't know if they would have, pushed playoffs, but if you're completely healthy, they might be fighting for a 7 seed.
That's fair. That's
I like
fair.
it.
All right, I'm gonna throw in a bonus question here. This wasn't on the script, so be ready for this one. You keep mentioning the new head coach. Who's on your short list? Who are you looking at?
Man, I'll keep it as simple as this. And some people don't like it, man, but I've been pushing for it. I just want my qualities. I want a head coach. I want a guy that's done the head coaching position, even if that's just in college. I want a guy that's been a head coach before, and I want a guy that has some success on that resume where the Lions could look at that and say, hey, he's done it before here, and you can tell it to the players, you can show it to them. I feel like the Lions are like a training ground right now. They just kind of hire your coordinators, and they're just kind of hoping it hits, but they don't have anything to back on. Lions are basically going off of hope that this guy will make it work. His first time will be successful. And some organizations, they hit on that, but I think the Lions are they're such a mess right now. I mean, the Fords, they don't seem to know what they're looking for. I think they need a guy that just knows football, just knows what winning is, can say I've done it, knows how to build knows how to hire the guys, knows how to run a practice. I mean, we have Patricia out there in his first year saying he's trying to figure out how to run practice. Like that's a problem. I want a guy that's ready to do all that when he steps in. I have just really a lot of former guys in there. I have Harbaugh high on my list. I know a lot of people he's not the most exciting because we got a lot of Michigan fans, and Michigan right now struggling. But just what I saw him do when it went from San Francisco struggling in 1 year, he turned it around. I see that at every level. Everywhere he's been, he found that success. We heard about Urban Meyer recently. That one concerns me a little because the character, the things that go on there when people get in trouble. But personally, man, as long as they can show me they've won and they've done it before, I think I'd be happy.
Yeah, you should look into Brad Childress too. I think he's available.
Okay.
He's going to make a comeback. It's fair to say there's absolutely negative 100% chance that Darrell Bevell is your next coach, correct?
I was kind of hoping for Bevel, man. I was hoping a little bit, but I'd say he's gone.
Wow. All right. Speaking of guys who are gone, give me one Lions player you hope is not back in that powder blue, Honolulu blue, whatever the hell you guys call it next season.
Oh, man, I hate to do this. Man. I hate to do this, but the first guy that popped in my head was Desmond Trufant. And it's hard to say that because, we really didn't get a chance to see the guy. But I'm just a little bit worried because when we did see him, he was just so inconsistent. We paid him so much money. My problem is I don't think you'll find a trade partner with him. He was released from Atlanta and he couldn't find a trade partner, so they released him. And this year with the 1 year left, I mean, maybe it makes sense to just keep him. This is a hard question because I won't, I don't like putting anybody's name out there, but I guess if I had to choose, Trufant came to my mind first, so I'll go with Desmond.
Well, shit, we'll give you a 7th rounder for him. Done deal.
I think I'd probably take it, man.
We'll take any depth we can get. All right. Any Vikings questions on your brain?
All right. I think you guys answered a few of mine. Oh yeah, I wanted to ask about Kirk Cousins. What do you guys think about Kirk Cousins' future?
His
future? Well, he's got 1 year left in his contract. He's definitely coming back after that. I think him and I'm stuck on Brad Childress. Him and Mike Zimmer are tied together. I think Zimmer gets one more shot here. If it doesn't pan out with Kirk Cousins, I think they clean house and they start over with a new quarterback. That being said, I would love for the Vikings to be able to draft, someone they can groom behind him, whether that has to be in the middle rounds or if they, land in the 13th, 14th range and Trey Lance or someone slides down. I'd love to see the Vikings get that guy, have him on the roster, learn behind Kirk Cousins for a year. That would be huge. But I think he's got 1 more year left, and that's going to be his time in purple.
Yeah, I think I think Kirk Cousins probably gets a little more hate than he deserves. Yeah, he's not the flashiest guy out there. He's not going to wow you, although he does have 140 yards rushing this year, which is damn near a career record for him. But Lubbock's nailed it. He's here as long as Zimmer's here. No one, we're not going to, anybody thinks we're going to trade him is nuts. He's here. And look at the numbers. I mean, the wins aren't there, but he's played pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then this one that you guys asked me. So how do you guys do it? You know, I mean, your draft position can't be as high as ours, but are you rooting for a win this weekend? Do you root for the position? Where you sit on that?
When more you start?
You know, I'm kind of torn. I really want to win, especially since it's an NFC North game. I'd like to sweep the Lions, but at the same, the draft pick is right there in your face. I mean, right now we're at 13. I don't even know the highest we can get, like 9, maybe. I think we can slide a couple picks down. So we're going to be picking around there anyways. I want a guard. So if we got to stick around in the teens just to get that guard, I'm all for it.
Well, and here's the thing for me, I could say that I want them to lose, but once the game gets going and I'm going to be rooting for them to win. I'm going to be rooting for every big play they make. And that's just the way it's going to be. So I'm going to say I want them to win. And, you know, the draft position can shake it. You can find a good player wherever. We got Justin Jefferson, at pick 23 last year. So you can find a good player down the board. So I want to win.
Yeah, I want a good game. I want a good game. I want Dan Bailey to not miss any field goals. I would like to see a Sean Mannion sighting out there in the third, fourth quarter, maybe, and some other young guys get out there.
Man, I'm with you, man. I just hope it's competitive, man. After last week, that last week brought me back to 2019 without Stafford. I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't watch this. I hope it's competitive too, man. What?
Are the Lions that bad right now, or are they giving up? I mean, what happened? How did that game get so out of hand?
Well, I think some of the issue was they didn't have any coaches there, so that was kind of weird. But I think the injuries are also part of the issue. I don't know. Like, I didn't think it was going to be that bad, but our offense, like, I don't know how people can still blame Stafford. It's kind of nuts to me. When Stafford went out because he went off to like the first drive, our offense is just completely awful. I mean, I don't know if we crossed the 50 in that game. We had like the one punt return, but yeah, we can't move the ball at all without him. It's crazy. We don't take shots. We don't push the ball. I mean, it's just like little screens. No one's going anywhere. The quarterbacks look like they're just freaked out. And then we can't run the ball that well, aside from Swift. Defensively, oh man, I don't know. It was bad this year, but that was bad. That was bad.
All right.
Well, hopefully it's not a 9-6 game or a
no way
3-6 game. We'll see what happens.
It's gonna be high scoring. I guarantee it.
I hope so. Let's go with a bang here. Just wrapping this thing up with DoseOfDion 2.0. Pretty much already answered it, but how do you see it shaking out on Sunday?
I'm hoping for it to be competitive, man. I don't want to. No negative thoughts, man. It's the last week. You know, it's gonna be a long time. You know, you get all hyped for the season, and it's just over so quick. I don't know. It just feels like it's over so quick. So I'm just hoping they, you know, go out. Stafford's playing, puts up some big numbers, hits some big shots. It just makes it fun. Even if we don't win, just make it fun. Maybe force a turnover. I don't know. Get a couple sacks. I hope it's high scoring.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the way the Vikings defense is playing, the way the Lions defense is playing. Sure. There's no way this is not going to be a high scoring game. A little defense.
I'll take that. Let's do it.
We'll take it. Well, Mr. DoseOfDion, thanks for joining the show once again. We look forward to talking to you hopefully in the off season. Pick your brain a little bit about free agency, maybe the draft, and we will be in touch very, very soon. Thanks again for joining the show, man.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks.